Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I just wanted to take a few moments to kind of dispel four different myths and give you four reasons of why there's not a housing bubble and there's really nothing to worry about with that. So, last time in 2007 through 10 when we had the housing bubble, there was a very big issue with affordability. So today we don't have that. So, as a report that came out from Black Knight Financial, as compared to 2007, where it took 34.1% of the average American's income, to cover a housing payment. Today, we're down all the way to 25.8%. So that's a big difference, especially considering that a normal lending standard is 28%. So although houses might be worth more in some areas, houses might be going up in value, they're still, historically speaking, more affordable than a normal healthy market and much more affordable than what they were back in 2007. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing I wanted to talk about really was very interesting for me to live this firsthand as I started doing mortgages in 2003. And back then, it was very much like the wild, wild west. And, as a 22-year-old kid, I didn't know any better. So going in and having someone be able to come in with a 580 credit score, tell me how much money they made without verifying it, and be able to qualify for 100% financing was nuts. Everyone was doing adjustable rate mortgages. There were a lot of interest only mortgages, and pay option arm mortgages, which meant that you could make a full payment, an interest only payment, or like a 1% payment. And that payment, the balance of your mortgage would actually go up. So it's pretty crazy. So as you can see from this chart, when it comes to people that have a 620 credit score or below, those numbers back in the 2000s were just astonishing how many people were purchasing homes that today can't even qualify. So if you look at where we're at right now, it's a very, very small percentage of the market that's able to purchase a home that has a credit score under a 620. So, and unfortunately, those are a lot of the customers that back then, got themselves into foreclosure situations. And speaking of foreclosures, the situation now is nothing like it was back during the crash of the bubble in the 2000s. So it's kind of obvious some of those differences that we've seen so far already with the affordability of housing and then also the credit standards of people that are homeowners today compared to then. And when you look at that chart and see, for 4 years during the housing crash, how high the foreclosure rate was, and the last 4 years that it's actually going down. That 2020 had less than 2019, and 2021 had even less. So people that are thinking that there's going to be this housing bubble and then this crash and all these foreclosures, unfortunately, they're just not living in reality. And if you ask any real estate investor out there that's actively trying to purchase homes, there's not foreclosures to be had. They're far and few between. And there's so many people that want to pounce on those, it's crazy. In addition to that, the values have went up so much compared to back last decade, where if you start missing payments on your home, you can sell your house so fast, put it on the market within 24 hours, have tons of offers. So if you're facing foreclosure, why would you even allow that to happen when you could easily sell that home, make plenty of money, and then put yourself in a situation to rent, fix your credit, and get on the path to homeownership again another day? Number four, we don't have a surplus of homes. We have a shortage, a very big shortage, and it's a supply and demand issue. So, if you look at the chart, the supply of homes is nothing like it was back in the 2000s. So, the chart is talking about how many months worth of homes are on the market. So, back in 2007, you'll see that there was enough homes on the market at a given time to satisfy the demand for 9.6 months, which is crazy. When you look at 2018, 2019, last year in 2020, and then now in 2021, that's a situation of desperation. So right now, in the United States of America, there's only enough inventory on the market for sale to cover 1.8 months of demand, which is astonishingly low. So when you factor in all these different things, there's not something here that's artificially propped up. We don't have an influx of home buyers that don't really qualify or that maybe shouldn't be qualifying for as much. A good example I had this week was a young lady that wanted to try to buy a $380,000 home while making $2,600 a month, having a 400 some odd dollar car payment and a 300 some odd dollar installment loan for furniture. So she wanted to go buy a $380,000 home, but the reality is she qualifies for 105. So back in the 2000s, she would have just said, "Oh, I make $120,000 a year. Cool, no problem. You get a home." But it's not like that today. In addition to that, the housing starts in new construction are so far behind what they were back in the 2000s. From 2010 to 2020, we had the lowest amount of new construction residential starts since the 1940s and 50s. So think about that. Think about how many more people have been born, how much higher our birth rates are, how much higher the total population of the United States of America is, and we've not been able to build enough homes to keep up with that demand. So that does factor in to the shortage as well. So it's not just people not wanting to sell their home, it's the fact that there's not been enough new homes built. So kind of in recapping everything, I definitely encourage you, if you are wanting to buy a home, now is the time to do it. This is a situation that's not going to get better anytime soon. Lending standards aren't just going to open up to where that anyone can get a mortgage. There's not overnight going to be 6 months worth of supply of homes. That's not going to happen. Rents are going up more than they've ever went up before. So you're going to continue to pay more money to rent a house. And even as interest rates go up, and if they go up more, which they will, on rent, you're paying 100% interest. You're paying someone else's mortgage. You're not building any wealth for yourself. Your home's not, or your apartment is not increasing in value for you. You're not getting that equity and appreciation from it. So, you know, definitely now is the time. It's a very competitive market. It's incredibly important that you work with an amazing mortgage professional and real estate agent that know how to work together as a team and write contracts and get you under contract. So please feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help and I would love to speak with you. I do hope you have an amazing day and I hope that this has been helpful. Thank you.